What's up, man? I want to talk about this NFL top 100, poll that come out every year. They come out with the top 100, and it was an interesting, let's say, number 50 and number 51, who they had ranked. Now they had Baker Mayfield, the number one overall pick last year, ranked number 50. They had Deshaun Watson ranked number 51. Deshaun Watson, we know, was picked. I believe Deshaun Watson was picked number three or something like that. But and it's supposed to be the best player, and they had the best season. Now Deshaun Watson had a better season than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield threw for one touchdown more, I think 27 to Deshaun Watson 26. But Deshaun Watson threw only 9 interceptions. Baker Mayfield threw 14. Deshaun Watson had a higher completion percentage, 68% of his throws he completed, while Baker Mayfield only completed 63% of his throws. Deshaun Watson threw for more yards, which was over 4,000. Baker Mayfield only threw for over 3,000. Deshaun Watson had a better quarterback rating of 103, I believe, and Baker Mayfield was like 90 something. It's just it's crazy, man. It's I don't know how they came up with that. If it's a now you can say I can say from top to bottom, the Houston Texans probably had a better team. Okay, let's just say from top to bottom they probably had a better team. But I'm not going to say on offense that offense for offense. I say the offense was kind of similar, was kind of even. Tight end. I believe Cleveland had a slightly better tight end. Wide receiver, yeah, Hopkins is was better than Jarvis Landry. Let's say running backs. I will say the collection of running backs that the Cleveland Browns have with Chubb and all the other guys, and I believe Miller, was on the Houston Texans. So I would say it was about even, but I would say what was not even was the offensive line for the Houston Texans was terrible. I believe Deshaun Watson was the more sacked quarterback last year. Deshaun Watson actually got really really injured last year, and I believe the Houston Texans started off like 0-2 or 0-3 somewhere up in there, and they finished at 11-5, and I believe Cleveland was only what 9-7 or nine, somewhere up in that range. So not only did Deshaun Watson lead his team to the playoffs, he had better numbers than Baker Mayfield. Now the two numbers that I'm looking, I'm not going to even look at the touchdowns and interceptions. I'm looking at the completion percentage versus completion percentage. Deshaun Watson won that by 5 points. I'm gonna say the quarterback, because the completion percentage is any passes. That's the short mid range passes and the long range passes. And so Deshaun Watson overall did better in Baker Mayfield in that category. Now overall he did better with the quarterback ratings by like almost 10. And to me, those two numbers, and then you can start throwing in, he threw more yards than Baker Mayfield by almost 1,000. He threw less interceptions than Baker Mayfield by almost 5 or 6. So that right there tells me individually he had a better year than Baker Mayfield. He should have been higher than Baker Mayfield. Now, are they trying to project that Baker Mayfield will probably have a better career? Which you're not supposed to do that, because they're supposed to go by year basis. The 100 best players is a year by year basis. It's not based on what you project a person will be in the future. And to me, I'll take Deshaun Watson even in the future over Baker Mayfield. I like Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, he's a pretty good quarterback. Looks like he's a pretty good leader. He's poised. He's had a career of being an underdog. He was a walk on a couple times. He won the Heisman. So he's not a pushover. He can play the game. But Deshaun Watson can do everything Baker Mayfield can do. Baker Mayfield cannot do everything Deshaun Watson can do. Baker Mayfield don't run like Deshaun Watson. He's not the athlete that Deshaun Watson is with his feet. When everything breaks down, Deshaun Watson can run and be a threat at running. When coaches go in and evaluate the Houston Texans and evaluate the Cleveland Browns, yes, they have to worry about Baker Mayfield beating them with their arm, but they also got to look at Deshaun Watson and say he can beat us with his arm and he can beat us with his feet, and that's danger. That's double trouble. He's double trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Baker Mayfield can't run, but you're not worried about Baker Mayfield slicing you up with his legs. You worried about Deshaun Watson slicing you up with his legs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they came up. I don't know how they came up with that. What's the name is the better quarterback. I don't know how that was done, but to my recollection, they do it by the individual person. So in the individual person's stands, what's the name is the better quarterback. Deshaun Watson is the better quarterback. Now maybe they did that to get a rouse out of people and for people to talk about it because people are talking about it. But let me know what y'all think. Who would y'all take, Deshaun Watson or Baker Mayfield? I'm out.